What's up, house groups? Happy Labor Day. I hope you guys are all having an amazing weekend. I'm going to make this really short and sweet, but I wanted to make sure everybody is aware of a few changes we have coming to house groups this year. First and foremost, we're switching from kind of the year-long model to 3 10-week trimesters, and the reason is really simple. We want to create more on-ramps for people to join up with house groups as they come to revision throughout the year. Not everybody comes in the summer or fall, and so instead of doing like a year-long thing, we just want to create more opportunities for people to join up with group and get in community, and also we want to create easier off-ramps and easier times and places and seasons to switch if your group just isn't a great fit for you. And so that at the end of each 10-week session, what you'll do is get an email that just has 3 simple options. Number one, I want to continue with my group, and that's what we hope everybody wants to do. But you'll also have the option to say, hey, I'd like to check out a different group and see if maybe there's a better fit for me. And number 3, hey, I'm going to press pause for the next season of house groups. And so there's easy on-ramps and easy off-ramps with the 10-week sessions. And then as far as other changes are concerned, I want to let you guys know house groups is kind of a cutting edge model. The way that we're doing things is way out on the front end, and there are some other churches that are kind of following in this direction, but we're experimenting as we go. We're learning as we do house groups about how to do them better, and there's not a lot of research out there, not a lot of other churches we can look to because people are shifting to this model. And so we're kind of the tip of the spear methodologically in terms of groups. I consulted with 3 different churches this summer who are shifting to our model this fall, and another one that's thinking about it. They didn't quite pull the trigger. And so people, like the church world is shifting towards what we're doing, but because we're out front and we're doing it first, we have to do something I call paying the stupid tax, and that's just making mistakes along the way. And so I need to say to all of you, number one, I'm sorry for those. I'm sorry for the fails along the way and the things that haven't gone the way that I wanted them to go. And number 2, thank you for your patience. Thanks for learning along with us and experimenting. Like we are, your willingness to do this and your willingness to show grace to me as we kind of experiment and change things around is changing the game, and it's changing faith and changing community for churches at this point all around the country. Like we're learning things that we're sharing that are making a difference, not just here in Des Moines and not just at Revision Church, but in a number of churches all over the place. So thank you for that. The big shift that we're going to make this year has to do with bringing kids to groups. We sent out a survey just to see how things were going, like whether we like serving once a month, and over 90% of people said, yes, please, let's keep serving once a month. So we are going to keep serving together once a month. But of the people that brought kids, there are some people who answered not applicable. They got high school kids, college kids, empty nesters. They're not bringing kids. But of the people who brought kids, 85% said kids are a significant distraction. And it was about 60-40, 70-30 split there between like kids are such a significant distraction. I feel like I'm not growing, and kids are a distraction, but it's better than having to find childcare. But the fact that 85% of the people who are at groups with kids just self-identified that's a real distraction, let us know that we got to try something different. And so we're going to try something different just for this first 10 weeks. We're going to try it, and if it doesn't work, we're going to try something different. But for the first 10 weeks, we're going to say any kids under 1 year old just can't be there. And I realize that comes at a cost. There's an expense involved in getting childcare lined up, and it's a hard shift. And it's a hard shift for me because my kids love going to house groups, and I love our kids, all of our kids, getting to see us invest in faith and invest in growth. But if we're not growing, then something is going wrong. And so I want to challenge you. I know for a lot of you, this is probably like what are we going to do? How are we going to work this into the budget? You know, and it is, it's a cost, and it's possible to swap babysitting like weekly with kids or with families who are in a different group on a different night of the week. They can watch your kids, you can watch theirs. But if it ends up being, hiring childcare, then it is a cost. And to fit that in, between Netflix and Spotify and DirecTV and Hulu and Sirius and Verizon and all the other subscriptions that we have is, it's a big budget chunk. And I say that only half tongue in cheek. I mean, we do spend money on things that we value. And this is not an insignificant expense, but I believe at the core of who I am that like investing in your own spiritual growth is the greatest single investment you could make in your kids' spiritual growth. Investing in your own faith is probably the single most important investment you can make in your kids' future. Because if you grow, they're going to grow. If you get closer to Jesus, if you transform from like who you are now towards who God made you to be, it's going to make a bigger impact on your kids than almost anything else you can do. And so I want to challenge you for 10 weeks to figure out a way to make this investment and say, hey, we're going to try it for 10 weeks. We'll figure out a way. And if it doesn't work, like if you really can't make it work financially, I want to invite you to just like take that out of your tithe. I would rather work with a smaller budget and more people in groups than I would a bigger budget and people who can't go to groups. So take it out of your giving. Like for real, just make a way for the next 10 weeks and we're going to try this out. And we're going to try it out because we are committed not only to helping people meet Jesus at Revision, that's part of our vision, but helping people follow him fully. And I am convinced at the core of who I am that following Jesus fully happens in community. It happens when our lives are crashing into each other in meaningful ways. And so just based on the responses that we've gotten from a lot of people and based on the feedback that we have, we're going to try to just set aside that time to be really intentional about growth. And so we're going to say kids under 1 need to be offsite at childcare somewhere, some way, somehow. Let's make it happen because we just believe that the best investment we can make in the next generation is growing our own faith. And so we're making a couple shifts, at least the 10-week shift we're going to try for the whole year. The childcare shift we're going to try for this first 10 weeks and see what happens. We're going to keep serving together. I'm excited for this year of house groups. We're starting the week of the 16th. They're coming up soon. This is it's going to be awesome. And I'm so grateful for all of you, so grateful for the chance. Like on just an individual level, not a leadership level as the lead pastor of Revision Church, but on an individual level as a human who needs community. I'm so grateful for house groups and what they bring to me, and I'm excited for what they're going to bring to you this year. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. Let me know. Let's have a great year.